What's up, my essential units? It's Essential Man here, so back again with another classic SummerSlam pay-per-view review. So this one is another all-classic SummerSlam show to review. That is SummerSlam 1992 at Wembley Stadium. Not the Wembley Stadium you see right now with the arch on top. No, this is old Wembley with the Twin Towers. The date for the show is totally different because this is the first SummerSlam to take place outside the United States of America, and the one and only SummerSlam to take place outside of North America and into Europe. They've never done a Big Four WWF/WWE pay-per-view outside of North America and Europe ever since. So when I watched the show on the network, it says this show took place on the 31st of August 1992, but I done my research. It took place on a Monday, but the original date for the show was on the 29th of August 1992 on a Saturday. I'm one of these people say this show took place on a Saturday, not a Monday, because doing a show, really a pay-per-view on a weekday just simply do not work. Anyway, so the attendance for the show was 80,355. SummerSlam 1992 received about 280,000 pay-per-view buys. Vince McMahon and Bobby the Brain Heenan on commentary. Wembley's not the original venue for this SummerSlam because originally it was supposed to be taking place at the Capitol Center, not the Capitol Center at the Performance Center in Florida in America. No, it was originally taking place in Landover, Maryland, but in America for the WWF, it was the beginning of the end of the boom period, the first boom period of the company. Business not really doing well in America, but business in the United Kingdom and Europe is going up. Increase of revenues. So they, because the European tours for the company was get really popular as gangbusters. So they decided to strike when the iron was hot. So they moved the show to Wembley, and this SummerSlam is the British Bulldog SummerSlam because he was in the main event of this SummerSlam when he faced Bret the Hitman Hart for the Intercontinental Championship. We get to the main event later on in this review, and that was because they also changed the main event. Like I said, we'll get to the main event later on in this review. So there's two versions of this show. There's the UK version and the American version of SummerSlam 92. When I watched the show on the network, this is the American version of the show because the British UK version of SummerSlam 92 was the full show. The American version of SummerSlam 92, they cut some matches off the card. They kept basically dark matches. I found it on Wikipedia. Quick results: you had Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Bushwhackers defeated the Mountie and the Nasty Boys. You had, Papa Shango, that's the future Karma and the future Godfather, by the way, defeated Tito Santana. At the time, he's doing the Al Matador gimmick. And also the cutoff, Tatanka defeated the Berserker. The Berserker is basically the Viking. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it was the era of cheesy gimmicks in professional wrestling. So, anyway, so the first match to kick off SummerSlam 1992, we got a tag team match. It's not for the tag team titles. That's later on in the show, by the way. We'll get to that. We got the Legion of Doom. That is Hawk and Animal. Road Wars, by the way. With Paul Ellering and Rocco. Rocco's this dummy that's not really getting over. It made the LOD really completely goofy. I'd rather take LOD 2000. At least they wear cool helmets than a fucking dummy. It's Jesus Christ. Anyway, they taken on Money Inc. That's the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase Sr. and IRS. That's Erwin R. Shyster, the father of Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas. So IRS cut a promo towards the British fans, says, tax cheats. If you pay your shares, you don't put the burden on the royal family. Anyway, the match was good. I really enjoyed this match between Money Inc. and LOD. It was back and forth. You had the heels working on Hawk. Then they did the hot tag. They were about to do the Yeah, Jimmy Hart's in the corner of Money Inc. By the way, um, in the end, Animal hit I think it was DiBiase or IRS with just a power slam, and that was it. Yeah, they were going for the tag team finisher, the Doomsday Device, but I think Jimmy Hart interfered, so it was a bit disappointed. But anyway, so LED was over. Money Inc. was good. I think they were a good tag team. By the way, this was the end of Legion of Doom's time in their first run in the company because Hawk never came back to the United States. I think I've done my research that him and John Noyd, I think that's his name, the Berserker, did a runner, and then was at the time he was having his drug problems, so he didn't came back to the company. Animal also left the company. I think he had I done research that he suffered some back problems in the early parts of the 1990s. Hawk ended up going to New Japan. I think it was New Japan or All Japan. He basically came to Japan from his version of the Legion of Doom. I don't think it was getting over. So Hawk and Animal reunited 4 years later in WCW. They ended up came back to the WWF 5 years later at WrestleMania 13. I did a review of WrestleMania 13 early this year. Go and check it out. So it's a disappointed. Because really their first run was short because they debuted in 1990. Jumped ship from WCW, won the tag team titles, and then they're gone. So anyway, so let's move on to the next match. So the next match, I'm not gonna talk about it. This is gotta be one of the worst matches of the show. We got Virgil taking on Nails. What's his name? Jonathan Wallowitz. I can't really pronounce his name. Anyway, so the build up to this is basically Nails attack Virgil's best friend, the Big Boss Man, with his nightstick. Virgil was basically trying to fight the honor of the Big Boss Man. So the match sucked. Nails is this guy. That's a crappy gimmick, by the way. He was wearing a orange jumpsuit. He's basically his main moves of his arsenal is basically just strangle. That's his move. Yeah, Virgil was not getting over. Basically the bloom has fallen off the rose for Virgil because he got over a bit when he was feuding with the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase the previous year in 1991, because he was a servant of the $1 Million Man, turned on him, he fought for the $1 Million Championship, won it, lost it, and then after the feud with the $1 Million Man has ended, he was kind of like floundering. He was a bit generic, by the way. So in the end, Nails got the victory. Basically, he basically choked Virgil out. And then afterwards, he beat down Virgil with the nightstick, and that was it. So, and this was the end of Nails' run in the WWF, because he religiously assaulted Vince McMahon. Basically, he was pissed off because of the pay dispute. He got a SummerSlam payout, but he wasn't happy. Then, this was in December of 1992. At the end of the year, he literally assaulted Vince McMahon, and heard those rumors that Vince basically sexual assaulted Nails, and he's basically he said he was supplied him with steroids. That was, you go and look up the McMahon trial of 1994. I don't want to get into it. He ended up going to WCW with the same gimmick, but similar to the Big Boss Man, they kind of changed the gimmick because WWF threatened WCW to sue him because they don't want to use the gimmick. So I think that was his name, Jonathan Wallowitz. I don't know. Just write down in the comment section below. Virgil left the company. What was it in the early parts of 1994? He came back in 2010 when he managing his $1 Million Man's son Ted DiBiase Jr. With the $1 Million title with Maurice. I said it in my review of Over the Limit 2010. Go and check it out. So that was a shit match of the show. The next match, this was okay, a bit better than Nails versus Virgil. We got the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels with Sensational Sherry in his corner, taking on Rick the Model Martel. This is between Shawn, Rick Martel, and Sensational Sherry. You had basically Shawn caused Rick Martel the Intercontinental title match. I'll bring it up when we get to the main event, by the way. Yes, one more. You had Sherry giving Rick the Martel the wink, and Rick did the wink back. So this is kind of more of a love triangle storyline between Shawn, Rick, and I'm not confusing Rick as Ric Flair. We'll get to Ric Flair later on in the show. No, I'm talking about Rick the Martel, by the way. So the match was okay, and by the way, both Shawn Michaels and Rick the Martel cannot punch each other in the face because they're handsome. The match was okayish. It wasn't going to be like, it's not, on paper you thought this is going to be a good match. Both Shawn Michaels and Rick Martel are good workers, but in reality, it wasn't bad. It was okay. It was a bit rushed. It's more focused on Sherry than Shawn and Rick Martel, because Shawn was starting. This is the beginning years of Shawn Michaels at the Heartbreak Kid, broke away from the raucous Shawn Michaels, kicking Marty Jannetty in the curb. Anyway, so Shawn Michaels came out with his, I think it was Sensational Sherry's version of Shawn Michaels' theme music. That's the reason why Kurt Angle referring of Shawn Michaels' theme music in their feud in 2005. Anyway, the match was okayish. It's starting to get heated between Shawn and Rick Martel. They end up pushing. They hit each other with slaps, because you can't. They said you cannot punch. I think he said you cannot punch each other in the face. So there's hit each other with slaps. Sherry basically faked it like a heart attack, or she fainted. But it's kind of funny. You had Shawn and Rick Martel trying to do some CPR on Sherry. I think Shawn trying to do breathing in the mouth, trying to do you grab someone when you're unconscious. You had someone basically yank your nose and blow air to your lungs. Shawn did that, and then Rick Martel basically did the heart thing. Putting your hands on your conscious person's chest. The match ended a double count. I was a bit disappointed. It was 8 minutes long. I think they benefit well if they give them 15 to 20 minutes. They kind of carry Sherry, unconscious Sherry. But basically, she was faking it, by the way. They're trying to carry Sherry, but they're attacking each other with Sherry. While carrying Sherry, by the way. So, and then afterwards, Rick Martel grabbed a bucket of water and tried to throw it over Shawn Michaels, but I'm guessing he threw it onto Sherry, and that was it. I don't know what's the blow-off to this. I'm guessing having Sherry turning on Shawn Michaels to reunite with, not reunite, but kind of pairing with Rick Martel. I don't know what's the original blow-off, or maybe have them, as a tag team on paper. It might be good. Shawn and Rick as a tag team, that'd be cool. But not getting along, end up getting along. But I don't know what the main payoff is going to be. So it's really sad, because you can tell because Sherry managing Shawn Michaels was a big deal, because Sherry, managing the Macho Man Randy Savage, managing Ted DiBiase Sr., the $1 Million Man. So Shawn and Sherry kind of stick together until 1993, I think, until Sherry left the company to go to WCW, managing Harlem Heat, by the way. And she came back in the 2000s. Great example. Singing, mocking Shawn Michaels' theme music, that was funny, I brought it up in my review of WrestleMania 21. Go and check it out. So, but besides that, it was an okay match between Rick the Martel and Shawn Michaels. Wish it was a little bit longer, in my opinion. So moving on to match number 4, I think. Match number 4. This is first of 3 championship matches on the show. This is for the WWF Tag Team Championships. We got the natural disasters. That is, was it Earthquake and Typhoon, defending the belts against the Beverly Brothers. That is Blake and Bo. I think Bo is the father of Von Wagner in NXT 2.0, with the genius in the corners of the Beverly Brothers. He did a promo. He referenced, mentioning the London Olympics in 1948, and the 1966 World Cup. Trying to keep it short and simple. The match was okay. I liked the opener. It was a little bit better because I think like both Money Inc. and Legion of Doom were the most popular tag team. National Disasters won the tag team titles. It was I think it was in July. The previous month. I think it was on a house show. I think it was against Money Inc. I think I might be wrong about this. Look it up in the comment section below. If the National Disaster defeats the Money Inc. for the belts. Anyway, the match was okay-ish. Try to keep it short and simple. In the end, National Disaster got the victory. They are the babyface, by the way, because Jimmy Hart used to manage the National Disasters, but in storyline, he turned his back onto the National Disasters, I think they're giving the tag team title shot to another tag team. So, by the way, Earthquake and Typhoon. I think Typhoon's the future, Fred Alton, by the way. He'll become the future Shotmaster in WCW. Earthquake, I think he feuded with Hulk Hogan in 1990. They're trying to give him this push, trying to make him out as the next top star. Unfortunately, that didn't work. It didn't pan out. But anyway, so in the end, National Disasters got the victory, retained the tag team titles. Yeah, they kind of attacked the Genius, and that was it. So, by the way, the National Disasters end up dropping the belts back to the Money Inc. And let's move on to the next match. So the next match, this is another short match I'm going to talk about shortly. I'm going to make it quick. I'm trying to say so. I need a drink, man. My throat's a bit dry. So the next match, we've got Crush taking on the Repo Man. The Repo Man is the former Demolition Smash, by the way. Crush and Smash, or Repo Man, used to be members of Demolition. At this moment in time, Demolition is officially no more because Axe was gone from the company, and Crush and Smash were doing their own thing. Repo Man was a shit gimmick. Crush, he had multiple gimmicks in his multiple runs in the company. Yeah, he was part of the Nation Domination, formed his own group, DOA, and then he wrestled with his real name. His real name is Brian Adams, by the way. Not the Brian Adams, the singer. He ended up using his real name when this is in 2001 in the Evasion storyline when he's teaming up with Brian Clark, the former Atom Bomb. Chronic when he faced The Undertaker and Kane. I don't want to get into it. So the match was okay. Repo Man shit. They try to give Crush some kind of push. I think it was in late '93, early '94 against Randy Savage. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out that well. So the match was just a squash match, getting Crush over. In the end, he kind of locked in the Crimean Crush. I think it was called the Crimean Crusher or something like that. It's basically Great Khali's vice grip onto Repo Man's head for the win, and that was it. Yeah, Crush came out with this crappy attire. I think it was an orange singlet and purple tights. Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, this is 1990s professional wrestling, and mostly in the WWF with cheesy gimmicks. They get more cheesy in the mid 90s. I want to get into it. So that was match number 5. Match number 6. This is one of the best matches of the night. This is for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. The Macho Man Randy Savage defending the belt against the Ultimate Warrior. This is a rematch from WrestleMania 7. This was a retire match at the previous year's WrestleMania in 1991. Warrior won the first match, and Randy Savage retired. He had the return of Miss Elizabeth. He got reinstated in late 1991 in his feud with Jake the Snake Roberts. So in the early starts in 1992. Basically, the whole storyline going into this. So Ric Flair won the WWF title at the Royal Rumble the early of 1992. I did a reviewed that show early this year. Go and check it out. So Flair won the title in the Royal Rumble match at Royal Rumble 1992. Then Savage defeat Flair for the belt at WrestleMania 8. So Flair got pissed off. He got pissed off because he's not he's not facing Savage for the belt. Warrior's facing Savage for the belt. So the story going into this, who is Mr. Perfect's going to manage? He's going to manage the Ultimate Warrior, or is he gonna manage Macho Man Randy Savage? So I don't want to get in details of it. There's not, they like teasing it with who's gonna turn from into the dark side, who's gonna turn heel, Randy Savage or the Ultimate Warrior. So anyway, so the match between Warrior and Savage, fucking good, man. I really like this match. I've never seen that match at WrestleMania 7. I've heard good things about it, so I might review WrestleMania 7 in the future. But this match between Warrior and Savage was good. Both are completely over. Warrior was wearing singlet. I don't understand why he's wearing a singlet, because he's ripped, he's muscular. Warrior came back at WrestleMania 8 because he quit the company the previous year due to pay dispute. That was after, I think it was a tag team match. It was him and Hogan taking on Sergeant Slaughter and I think it was Colonel Mustafa, the former Iron Sheik. I'm not reviewing SummerSlam 91 this SummerSlam season, maybe next year. Anyway, so the match was really good, but it got bogged down with interference. They bring this whole storyline. Which side is which side of what Perfect's gonna manage, Warrior or Savage? There's one funny promo segment. With you had a Mean Gene interviewing Ric Flair. Flair was basically trolling Mean Gene because Mean Gene wanted to ask Ric Flair what side Mr. Perfect's gonna manage, Warrior or Savage. He was just trolling. He's not. Mean Gene says, tell us the truth. He didn't really give him a straight answer, so that was kind of funny. Anyway, so and speaking of Flair and Flair and Perfect, they came during this match. I think Warrior kicked out this diving elbow. I don't know. Warrior did manage to hit the Warrior splash. I'm not too sure. So here's this storyline playing into this match. So Perfect. I think Perfect tripped up Savage. You thought Warrior's turning heel, but Flair hit Warrior in the face with brass knuckles. You thought Savage is turning to the dark side. He's turning heel. This is getting confusing, and I just simply don't get it. Try to keep it short and simple, folks. He's kind of like going after Perfect. He was going to hit Warrior with the diving elbow, but instead he's trying to hit Flair with basically he hit a move off the top rope, trying to hit Flair, but Flair managed to hit Savage in the leg, and the match ended not a double count, but it ended in a count out win for the Ultimate Warrior. So Savage retains the World Wrestling Federation title via the count out, and then afterwards Perfect and Flair kind of work on the injured leg of Randy Savage. Warrior grabbed the chair, chased both Flair and Perfect out of the arena, and both Ultimate Warrior and Randy Savage, they kind of embrace, show their neutral respects. I've heard there was major rumors, they were planning to do like a double turn. There were rumors like having Warrior turn in heel, maybe on this show, or at the next show, that Survivor Series at the end of the year. But Warrior refused to turn heel. I think they were, at SummerSlam 1992, I think they were planning to do like a double turn, having Warrior turn heel and Flair turn babyface. You can tell you can tell at this moment in time they're putting the plug on this Ric Flair push. I'll get to more of the WWF title picture at the end of this review, by the way. Yeah, they changed plans because Warrior, for the second year in a row, he quit the company. I think it's due to pay disputes once again. You won't see Warrior ever again until 1996. I don't want to get into it. He shit the bed in his third run of the company, and then also shit the bed in WCW. That's later on in the 1990s, by the way. I don't want to get into it. So yeah, and I said in my review of Royal Rumble '93 that the original plans having Bret and Warrior face for the WWF title, and I heard rumors like Warrior also, who's part of these wrestlers, was applied by steroids by Vince McMahon. I don't know if that's literally true, but I don't know, man. So let's move on to the next match. So, by the way, it was a good match. The second best match of the night. It was bogged down with interference by Flair and Perfect. I don't understand why Perfect was a manager, because he can still go in the ring. I don't get it. I don't want to get into it. So let's move on to the next match. So the next match, we got Kamala with Kemshi and Harvey Whipperman. Kemshi, if I'm pronouncing the name right, that is the Brooklyn Brawler wearing the mask. Taking on the Undertaker with Paul Bearer in his corner. Undertaker entering the ring, riding on a hearse. I like when Undertaker riding on a chariot. That with the Crow. That was at WrestleMania 9 the following year. So match was shit. Don't like it. Like these Undertaker matches in the 1990s. Undertaker had crap matches against crap wrestlers in those 1990s. Instead of like his feud with Kane, Austin, Mankind, Shawn Michaels. They were good. I think I'm missing out some. Yeah, I think I'm missing out. Yeah, yeah. I can't remember. Yeah. Also had bad matches against Karma, fucking Kamala, Mabel. Sid was okay. We'll think. Brett. He had also a good matches against Brett. Yeah, he had King Kong Bundy. The list goes on and on and on. Hogan, that was also a crap match. I covered their matches at Survivor Series 91 and Tuesday Night in Texas. So anyway, the match was crap. It was shorter, but in the end, Kemshi basically hit the Undertaker, and then Kamala basically attacked the Undertaker even further. There was a post-match beatdown. Undertaker get up, going after Kamala and Kemshi and Whipperman. This match is just a follow-up to the next. They set up the coffin match at Survivor Series at the end of the year, and Undertaker went on to face the Giant Gonzalez in the start of 1993. Fucking hell, man. Like I said, sorry about my language. You had good feuds in the 2000s like Edge, Orton, Shawn Michaels again, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, to crappy feuds in the 1990s. So let's move on to the main event. So the main event, this is for the Intercontinental Championship. I think it's the first time that the Intercontinental title was defended on a pay-per-view. I think the last time in our current timeline where the IC title defended on a pay-per-view was, I think it was Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler at Extreme Rules in 2018. Besides that, I don't think they did. I know they defended. I'm talking about pay-per-views, by the way. They never you never see the Intercontinental title defended on a pay-per-view ever since. So. This is not the original match, because this match was picked by Bret Hart and he pitched it to Vince McMahon, because the original match, it was supposed to be Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels, because we'll get to more of that later on. Originally it was supposed to be a ladder match. They did like a test run in a house show. I did my research, this is like 2 years before they did the iconic ladder match at WrestleMania 10 between Shawn and Razor. So Brett was the Intercontinental title. He was in the IC title picture for 1 year because he won the title against Mr. Perfect at the previous year's SummerSlam. Then he dropped the Intercontinental title to the Mountie. That was a short reign. Then he won the title back from Roddy Piper. Sorry, my apologies. At WrestleMania 8. By the way, Roddy Piper was on the show blowing his bagpipes. He was singing that was the Scottish Highlands. It was okay, because at this time, you can tell the company was phasing out stars in the 1980s, like Hogan and Savage and Piper. That was later on in the 90s, before they ended up going to WCW. Anyway, so, this is basically hype. And also, Bulldog came out from suspension, by the way. He was popping some steroids. And also, he was doing crack with Jim the Apple Neidhart. I do my research for my preparation for the show, and this was like this is a family feud between the Harts and the Smiths, because Bulldog is married to Brett's sister Diana. Match was really good. I really enjoyed this match between Brett and Bulldog. Both were not really getting super over in America, but they got over in the United Kingdom and Europe and other places around the world. Bulldog entered the ring with former boxer, or current boxer at the time, Lennox Lewis. He fought with Frank Bruno and and Mike Tyson. The match was really good. The fans were booing Brett, but you can tell it's a face versus face, similar to the WWF title match from earlier. Both Savage and Warrior were baby faces. Yeah, and then they did the one and only heel versus heel match. That was Shawn Michaels versus Rick the Model Martel. Anyway, back to the main event. The match was really good. I really enjoy it. It was a technical style masterpiece between Brett and Bulldog. Brett kicked out the running power slam. I think he kicked out the suplex. Both are really good workers in the ring. In the end, try to keep it short and simple. I think there's one more of the match. Brett was laying down. He managed to lock in the sharpshooter onto the British Bulldog. By the way, they feud before. Because they were in the tag team. Brett was teaming up with Jim the Anvil Neidhart from the old Hart Foundation in the 80s before it broke up in 1991. And Bulldog was teaming up with the Dynamite Kid, the British Bulldogs. They did fought for the tag team titles. Now they're in the mid-card feud, fighting again. So, in the end, Brett was going for the sun flip roll-up, but Bulldog countered it to his pin to win this match and win the Intercontinental Championship for the one and only time. And then both Brett and Bulldog. I heard Bulldog, like I said, he's on a crack binge. He had the morphine addiction in what was it, 1999. I don't want to get into that in this review. So afterwards, you had Brett and Bulldog hug, express their respect. Embrace their respect. My apologies, with Diana, their sister and wife, in the ring. And this should have really broke. One thing about Bulldog is one of the best wrestlers never won the championship. He never won the world title. He never won the world title. I've heard Bulldog was never that great in the ring, but I think the one nitpick about Bulldog, it really hurt him. He never got out of the card. So, and also Bulldog and Brett. Bulldog never got super over in the UK. Not UK. He never got over in America. Super over in the United States and America. Only popular in the United Kingdom and in Europe, because you'll never get these. Never get a British wrestler with that type of publicity and hype and treated like a god ever again. You never get that. Maybe one wrestler, male or female, will get that treatment like the British Bulldog. There's none. People. I don't really put Paige in that category. But Bulldog is treated like a god. He wrestled in the United Kingdom, wrestled around Canada. He wrestled in Brett's dad's company, Canadian Stampede Wrestling. Anyway, so like I said, this is Bulldog's one and only Intercontinental title reign. He ended up dropping the title to Shawn in October, because the original plan for if they did the show in America, that Brett will end up dropping the belt to Shawn. And also going back to the WWF title picture. Savage ended up dropping the WWF title to Ric Flair in September, and then 1 month later, Brett went on to defeat Ric Flair in the house show in Canada. It'll be Brett's first of 5 WWF titles before, until he left the company in 1997. So, yeah, so I think Bulldog, it's a shame. They end up fighting one more time in 1995 in an in-house show in December of 95, but that was not on the same level as their first match in the show at Wembley Stadium. You're not going to get that type of atmosphere ever again. Depending, I don't want to get into of Clash of the Castle. I might review that show in a couple of weeks' time after I came back from holiday. So my final rating for SummerSlam 1992. I give it an 8 out of 10. This is got to be in the top 5 or even the top 10 best SummerSlam shows of all time. Not a great card, but it was still a good show. The 3 matches in the bag for me has to be basically Nails versus Virgil. You had Repo Man versus Crush, and Undertaker Kamala. It's just basically the continuation match going into Survivor Series. The OK is the OK. The 2 matches in the OK for me has to be Shawn versus Rick Martel and the tag team title match. But the good is the good, you know, a good atmosphere. I like the opener. I like mostly the Warrior versus Savage match for the WWF title, and the match of the night for me has to be Bulldog versus Brett for the Intercontinental Championship. So, yeah, I suggest watching the show, man. You know, it's got to be, in my opinion, this has got to be in not just my opinion, but everyone people's opinion about the show. This has got to be the best SummerSlam of the 1990s. So, yeah, I suggest watching this show. Hope you enjoy my review of SummerSlam 1992. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button, click the like, click the bell, subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. Be part of the Central Unit for more wrestling videos and more. Next time, we'll travel 5 years into the future. See how Brett and Shawn and Taker get along, and including Bulldog also get along. Yeah, 5 years later, still in 1997. You know, Heart and Soul. You know what I'm talking about. You know, Owen versus Austin. And Taker versus Brett for the WWF title with Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid as special guest referee. You know what I'm talking about, including Helmsley versus Mankind and Steel Cage. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? That's right, I'm talking about SummerSlam 1997. That's next show I'm going to review in the SummerSlam season for 2022. So this is Essential Man officially signing out. And that's my review of SummerSlam 1992. I give it 2 thumbs up.